All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's stream. We are gonna actually start today a little bit earlier than usual. We wanted to go a little bit through pre-market, see what's happening actually right now. Uh, Actually, it looks, at least for pre-market, it looks a relatively green day. I mean, there is not much red, and then we have some of the momentum stocks moving up. BNGO up 14% right now. We have Workhorse, Sanus Surgical, Tilray, Nano Dimension. Really, these uh, basically traditional kind of momentum stocks that have been actually hammered in the past couple of months, really. So let me set everything up correctly so you know that everything is in place. Mm-mm. Hello, Jim. Yeah, welcome. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think today is actually the point where we are gonna just hit back. I hope we are at that date, but honestly speaking, I think it's just a little bit too soon still for that. But hello, Jim. Yeah, welcome. Oh, that was my own voice. Yeah. Nice. Um, yeah, we will go through that actually and check that. We will actually check a couple of different things uh, for that. No, it would be different for today. I don't think, again, I don't think today we're gonna actually go all the way back. I still think that we're gonna wait another month or two. I think this summer still we will have a couple of down trends still, but hopefully after that we can go higher. I think the moment we are looking for is when you have this news of tapering the rate, and when you hear that there will be an overreaction, people start panicking again and things like that, and then in my opinion that will take us to low, the previous lows that we had before, even lower in some stocks. But eventually after some time that will be like done with this. Like people usually overreact to these kind of scenarios. So hopefully after that we can uh, be a little bit moving forward, and some of our stocks can get the love that they deserve. But yeah, so let's go through the list today. Again, BNGO, Workhorse, Sanus Surgical, Tilray up. Uh, I mean, they're not crazy up, but when you look at the downtrend, there are not many that is going down. Let's have a look at the market news. I mean, so one of the things was Peloton. So they actually, Loop Capital recently mentioned that they already priced in so the current price already has that recall effect uh, in it, so it includes that. So that made Peloton move a bit. Let's check Peloton. How is that? So then the next is BNGO, CLNE, Microvision, Clove. I think Clove is actually one of those that is going up because of the AMC. Talking about AMC, let's check AMC. This is, I mean, from technical point of view, there's not a very, I mean, it's still a downtrend, but I can't really say much, honestly, right now. Do I know that AMC will go up or down? No, I don't. I don't really. That was exactly what I was just saying. I don't think that based on the technicals, at least I can say, but we all know that really this technical part is not the one that is driving the price of AMC. I think for AMC, crucial part is that how would retail investors actually react to that. One of the things is that I know some of the banks actually started to decrease their sell shorts uh, because of the possible, shorter squeeze, and because of that, they were trying to actually do some, risk management and things like that. That would actually be something to show that at least there are some of them that are actually scared that something might happen, which I take it as a relatively good news for the stock. But honestly speaking, it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't tell you that it's going to be up, because even though when we were actually in this move upward, they were still adding their short positions. So not really best indicator for that. But again, technical wise, I don't know about that. What other stocks you think that will get a shorter squeeze? Actually, that's very interesting. Many people have been asking the same thing. This is probably because of the fact that when one of these basically, let's say, Wall Street types of stocks go up, the rest also go up with it. So I think Workhorse is one of them, but Workhorse had a very huge amount of short percentage on it, and that was one of the reasons that it jumped like this. But like AMC, this is still in downtrend. Mm. Do I care for do I care for what? Sorry, I don't understand your question. But anyway, if you consider the current situation, I think it is still going on. It's not that you can say, hey, we are winning or we are losing. I think we should still wait and see. It really depends also on the retail investor. I mean, if they start to add it again. I mean, look, one of the things is that if, let's bring AMC again. If AMC really keeps this sort of price at this point, it put pressure on the short sellers, and that will be something to really look at it. But other than that, there is nothing else to predict or say at this point. I mean, I never traded AMC as a technical point of view. I only think that that's just one of these, if you want to be this one of the apes basically. So that will be something that will be for me the only reason to go. I don't think for now fundamentally we can justify it, but we all know that this is not about fundamentals of the stock. It's about more the basically the whole sticking together, going against the hedge funds and so on. So that's true. That's true. Uh, Merrick is saying that we have to stay together to do that. I mean, obviously, that's the only way that you can actually get something out of this AMC trade. I still think that this one has room to go. I'm actually happy that they offered shares. I know many people got angry, but I think that was a good move by them. That's something that I mean, GME didn't do that, and in my opinion, that was a mistake. I know that for short term, people do not like when these companies that somehow they are being backed by retail investors, suddenly it feels like that when they offer shares, they are just going behind their backs. But I actually think it's the other way around. I think AMC as a stock, the very first reason that people or hedge funds are really trying to smash him, one of the points is that they have a lot of debts, so they have to actually really uh, do something with that. And offering share at these prices were absolutely the correct decision. I mean, I wish GME would have done that, and I bet if GME would have done that, GME would have brought more good news later on, would have got some sort of backing from some analyst at some point because of that, hey, or even the news that, hey, this amount of the debt is actually now cleared. So that would be another catalyst for these stocks. So I'm actually very happy for that. So hopefully they they actually reward us as the process of that. But from business point of view, I think they made a very good move there. So I just hope that people who are investing in AMC see that is a good move for them. All right, but let's again go back to the list. Let's refresh it if there is anything. BNGO Workhorse. I actually got caught up in Workhorse pretty bad myself. Like I think when I was really sure that they will get it, so I went in somewhere here, and then I was waiting for 45 or 50 even at that point, and then boom, this was the point. And then they started shorting it, hedge funds, so it really got into a nasty position for me. I never closed any of my position, but honestly speaking, I didn't add to it much. For example, when it went to these points, I didn't add much more money myself, and the reason for that was that I didn't have enough money to do that. I wanted to keep some money, and I wanted to make less risky decisions because I'm not sure how long would it take at the time that the workhorse actually goes back up, and I still don't know if it comes back just like that. So I just want to wait and be patient with it rather than just go and uh, just average down. But obviously it would have been a good choice if I would have averaged down here. Maybe I could have even get out of it at these levels, but you never know. Okay, so then we have an NDM. Do you have any news for Narrow's revenue rises? Yeah, that is old news. Tilray, AMC, Genos, OCG, and Givo. So pretty much almost all of these momentum stocks are actually up today at the pre-market. What I can say is that today's market is unclear. We can actually go and look at Nasdaq. Let's go to 30-minute. So it appears that Nasdaq can go up today. So yeah, that is that. This is, in my opinion, we are at this is 4-hour MACD, and this is 30-minute MACD, and it already had this huge movement up here. It slowed down a bit, and it is right now here. From a trading point of view, I mean, I'm not gonna take this, I will explain why, but from a trading point of view, not investment, but trading, let me just remove this, bring this down. So when you look at this, this will be my stop loss, and then I would take something like 1.5, something like this. And do we have some, I can line here, do we have something, maybe. From a trading point of view, I think this is a trade that one could have taken, but I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to do that because usually when market opens, it's a very crazy time, and it can really go either direction in that sense. So I still think it makes sense to wait a bit more. Yeah, so let's have a look at S&P. Same here. This is also another move. Like you can get it here. I mean, the problem with it is that this one has a very high amount. Like I think I go at least for 1.5 ratio. So this is just too much. Like this is too big of a move right now, and I don't want to take this much risk for such a high move. That's why I don't take this one. Similar thing for Nasdaq as well in a 30-minute chart. Still for Nasdaq, I guess it is better. I can see that if one of the moves, I mean, one of these trade, if I want to pick, it will be in a Nasdaq, but yeah. What else? What else do we want to check? Let's go again to our list. We have workhorse. So obviously, with workhorse, we are in the 4-hour time frame. We are in moving upward. Right now, we are above 30-minute. I mean, with the current move, it is probably gonna cross here, although it's not below the zero line, it's still very close. So from that point, I see this to actually have a bit of move today, but yeah, let's see from really, I mean, I wouldn't take this until it really starts. I mean, that's not a smart play in my opinion to take the trade right now, but this will be something like that. So you have almost 9% down, and for that you have to take at least almost 13 to 14% gain. So yeah. Yeah. Let's have a look at, there's some news already. Bluebird, let's check it here. GM GameStop on watch as one was firm doubles down on bearish stance, another throws in towel. NGO. Oh, Fiserv, that is not a good news. I think we are up to date. Let me see if we have something going on.
Working so poorly they'd never turned on their computer for more over a week at a time. So she said, look, A, you're going to have to come in, let's say 3 days a week. You can't work from home full time. You're going to come in 3 days a week. And B, we want to monitor you and manage you and make sure what's going on. You're getting your job done. But huge numbers of firms are rolling out exactly this plan now. So you hear, Citibank and Apple and Google and Microsoft and HSBC, et cetera. The world is copying exactly that plan now. They're saying, look, post-pandemic, you're going to come in probably 3 days a week.
Yeah, not a very interesting topic right now. Are you guys actually having, do we have a problem at the video quality? Is it so? Okay. Let me try see if I can fix it.
This product is brought to you by Unknown Brain. Thank you for listening. Love you all.
That was nice. Yeah, sorry for this, but I'm trying to see why do we have delay. I mean, some say they have delay, some say they don't. So it's making it harder for me to understand what's going on. I think right now it should be okay. So just let me know if you still have something like that, but at least for time being, I'm not gonna change it again. I think this is gonna be as it is. Otherwise I have to restart it, so let's see. Hopefully there is no problem with that again. But hey, we are actually just almost half an hour before the bell. Let's see, what else do we have? OCGN, one of the stocks that actually got really hammered in the past days. Let me just close this, may put it like this, so you can see the down movement on this. Yeah, I'm not really bullish right now on this. I mean, from a trading, I'm not gonna talk about the fundamentals. I don't know much about OCGN. I think they had some successful days because of their vaccine data and the report they got on that, but other than that, I'm not sure how that will be. From downtrend, we have Mara. Well, how's Bitcoin doing? Let's check Bitcoin. Let's look at the day chart. Yeah, I mean, it is actually moving upward, but my opinion is just not enough movement yet. So let me check the week for that. Okay, so obviously it has started to move down from here, and when it's going down like this, I only take sell positions on that. I mean, that would be my idea of that. But right now, although we are close on a upward movement at 4 hour, which basically can take it something like this, but I wouldn't take this. I'm just putting it for a time being. Yeah, this is not, I mean, probably you can't even get this one, but I'm not sure, because first of all, it's below the 200 EMA. I want this to go up. Let's delete some of these. Let's just put this one here. This goes this one. Yeah. So the problem for now is that this is still in a downtrend. You see the 200 is moving down. It's below the 200 EMA. You might get some move back up. I still think that it can get up to like really 50,000 or so, 55,000. But again, I think it will go down, and at least to 30,000 or even below 20,000. That's my estimation based on the historic performance of the Bitcoin. But yeah, so I just removed this so I don't give you the wrong impression that you can take this. It's up 2.3% today. Ethereum is 4.5% up. So, I mean, although this one looks like it has been, you can see obviously it is getting weaker, and obviously from now on it is starting to go downward. I still think that this will go down again. Maybe not today, maybe not this week, but it will go down. In long term though, I think crypto, certain one of them are in good position. So that is my opinion. I have right now some trades here, which let's check. Oh, they're not doing well. Yeah, yeah. Live market view. Maybe I go for that. Good. But let's check. I took one Euro USD. Oh, not 4 hour. It was on 30-minute chart. So this is the one. I took this one, and this is a buy position for me, and it is still going down. I mean, obviously this is below 200 EMA. I usually don't take it like that, but to me it looked like that it can go up considering the 4-hour performance of this. So for 30 minutes I look at the 4-hour and 30 minute. What happened? Yeah. Okay, so this is 4-hour. Starts to go up again. One thing is that, like something at least from for you, is that when you have such big moves, you have to really be careful. I mean, this is not something good for this trade. When you have such a a crazy move like this usually means that your indicators will get messed up. So if something like this is happening, I try to stay away from it. I didn't here because I just thought I can take the risk, so I don't lose too much. If I lose, it's a very small position, so let's see that one. Then we had, what else? Was it USD Cad? Yeah, so again in 30 minutes. So this is again going not in the direction that I want. So this is a sell position. I'm waiting for this to go down here, but yeah, we'll wait, we see. We'll see what happens there. So Nasdaq is minus 0.24%. S&P is, it looked like from basically trading point of view, it can go up, but we have to wait and see. Usually opening of the market is not the best time to take your trades, because the market can get so crazy at the time, and it can completely reverse as well. There is a lot of trades at that time, so it's really hard to place that. University of Sheffield, not a big point. Yeah, so yeah, let's look at some of the comments. What is the
As Treasury Secretary, you're one of the most powerful people within the government.
okay, let's
She
have a look at
wants
this.
pretty much, but it sounded a lot like central banks speak, and I do think, as you outlined, I mean, the messaging is a little bit complicated, and I guess who really cares about messaging if the market isn't reacting to it? But these are very Fed chair-like comments from someone who had been the Fed chair, certainly follows Fed policy closely, but is now focused on a different set of government challenges.
Yeah, well, and this is the big challenge for Janet Yellen. Again, she was formerly Fed chair. She's spent basically her entire life in the academia world, and that makes it very difficult for someone who's in a completely different role on the fiscal policy side of things, where your audience is not necessarily economists on the at these big banks, or people who have been studying these types of things at the big saltwater or freshwater kind of houses there. So I think the question is really going to be, can she kind of communicate what she's trying to say in a way that isn't as econometric or kind of as in the weeds? And I think that she learned the hard way when markets did kind of flinch a little bit. This was a few weeks back when she had an appearance, I believe it was at the Atlantic, where she had made very similar remarks saying higher interest rates could be good for the economy. And then everyone said, well, is she trying to jawbone the Federal Reserve? So what's interesting is that she's still kind of essentially saying the same thing here. But I think markets, I guess, now are kind of in tune with what she really means in this case. But, she's very early on in this tenure in the Biden administration. We'll see if maybe there are other future episodes where some of the Fed speak that she's trying to do, at least from the Treasury building, might end up getting people confused.
Yeah, and something else, in this sort of era of heightened sensitivity to all this inflation talk and rate talk, we've got the next CPI data point coming this week on Thursday, right? And the estimates I saw, for the headline number to rise 4.7% core, 3.4% on a year-over-year basis. But Brian, you have to wonder if a lot of this is baked in at this point, and certainly on a consumer level, people know prices are going up because they're paying them.
Yeah, and in our conversations with the Fed officials over the last few weeks, we're currently in a Fed blackout period ahead of not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday's FOMC meeting. But Fed officials have said we should expect to see higher prints on inflation, although we already had an upside surprise for the data for May and April. And I think that you'll hear most Fed officials, including some like the likes of Rich Clarida, say they were honestly surprised about the last round of that CPI print. So if it is indeed the case that we're inching a little bit closer to that 4% year over year on the CPI, that would indeed definitely imply that the inflationary pressures are there, and no one's denying that. But of course, the Fed, for their cover at least, saying that this is likely to be transitory, this is likely to be temporary, not just necessarily the base effects of looking at these year-over-year comparisons where you're comparing against the depths of the pandemic, but also some of these supply chain issues that have been choking up some of the, I guess, availability of materials that have forced these producers to ultimately raise their prices. Now, where you fall on that, are you team overheating or are you on team transitory, depends on whether or not you think this is going to lead to some more cost push pressures where ultimately wages are rising along with prices. That could lead to some sort of 1970s like price spiral. Some people saying this economy is very different. That's not going to happen this time, but that debate very much still ongoing. And I believe it's going to be more than just the May and even June prints before people have a good clue of exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, most definitely. It's also going to be really interesting after comments last week from Caterpillar and GM that we were starting to see some of those supply chain pressures abate, but how long will it take to make its way through to prices on the consumer side? Probably a little while. Brian, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Well, as we look ahead to that inflation data, as we saw last week, markets abhor a vacuum, a news vacuum. And so one of the things that leapt into the breach were meme stocks last week, and AMC in particular, as we saw that stock rise. I think 86% was the final tally when all was said and done. Even with a dip late in the week, the shares are up another 4.5% here this morning. Miles, I'm sure you were doing some deep thinking on the meme stock front over the course of the weekend, and whether we would continue to see a lot of this action. I don't know that we know what exactly sparked the rally that we saw last week or the renewed interest in it, but it doesn't feel like that it's necessarily going away.
No, I think the more that I think about it, the more that we cover these meme stocks as really the most interesting sub-story within the market, because, all the conversation we were just having with Brian and the direction of the economy, that's kind of, heady stuff. That is where, the base of the trajectory for all of this is really formed. But the activity with meme stocks underneath the surface and the fact that it has now come up in essentially the same form a couple times within 3 months. And yet, as we discussed with Jared last week, and I'm sure we'll talk about as we get through this week, the lack of spillover between what's happened in the meme names and how sentiment within the broader market is reflected, I think to me is the most instructive part of this story right now. I mean, I know there were a few stories out from a variety of publications over the weekend about the index industry and how some of the rally in the meme names opens that up to distortions within the construction of the index, because obviously, if you have a market cap weighted index or a market cap weighted type fund, and AMC is now double the size that it was, quadruple the size that it was, it can move that index or fund around a little bit more. Of course, if you're talking about the Russell 2000 or you're talking about even a sector level index, its weighting is going to be still in the fractions of percentage points. And so it's not going to and has not shown up in those overall measures. And so, Sazi, I think I enjoy the story. I enjoy covering the story and I enjoy discussing the story because the meme names are an oddity unto themselves. And we are not sitting here saying, what's the existential threat to markets because AMC shares quadrupled? I suppose there is a point at which that would happen, but that it has not happened, I think to me is so far the biggest takeaway of round 2 of this episode.
Yeah, and also the spillover effect, Miles. You mentioned the Russell 2000 and FTSE Russell, who obviously oversees the Russell 2000, Russell 1000, and many other indexes, came out over the weekend describing or laying out their reconstitution plans. Now, this happens every year in June. Reconstitution essentially means they will add and subtract certain companies in the index. They're noting that the Russell 2000, since last June's reconstitution, up 84%, to $3.5 trillion in terms of overall market cap. In large part, that is because of interest in these meme stocks, a GameStop, an AMC. Now, The flip side of this, those two names will probably be removed from the small cap Russell 2000 index because both of their market caps, GameStop is nearing, what, $18, $19 billion. AMC is close to $25 billion. A typical market cap in the Russell 2000 is $5 billion under. So those names will probably be removed going forward. But again, it is having a spillover effect. And you've seen some stories in recent weeks. A lot of investors who have invested in ETFs or the Russell 2000, they don't even know that they are investing in the meme stock trade. So they have benefited as a result. And then secondarily on GameStop, Miles, just reading over the weekend, you get a sense there are retail traders firmly entrenched. I mean, GameStop can come out here and potentially miss by 50 cents on earnings and fall $100 million short of revenue, and there will still be this entrenched crowd of retail investors in a GameStop that is likely to come out and buy on any weakness. And that weakness could very well come from their latest earnings.
Yeah, and those earnings, by the way, I believe are scheduled for Wednesday. So we could have that news event, such as it is, in the meme stock world coming on that day. But, as you said, it's faith-based investing to some degree, right? I mean, yes, some people are just speculating and trying to make money on price changes, but there are perhaps a surprising number of people, particularly with that GameStop story, I think, but also with AMC, who do seem to believe in the fundamentals of these companies. And, we've made the comparison before. I think it bears repeating to Tesla. In those cases, if people got in long ago enough, not necessarily if they got in just this year, but if they got in a long time ago in Tesla, it has indeed paid off. That sort of faith that the story was going to work out, even when there were a lot of circumstances that made it seem like on an objective level that the deck was stacked against it. So you still have that element. And in these cases, we've yet to see if that faith will pay off with actual concrete returns.
Yeah, and just, on the Tesla point, I mean, Tesla obviously now a member of the S&P 500, obviously one of the largest companies in the market. How Tesla moves does impact overall indexes. But again, I just want to reiterate my view that this has not yet led to a big change in risk sentiment and how the indexes are acting. And Zazie, I know some of that reconstitution stuff is coming up, but I think much like the debate over active versus passive investing was had a decade ago, perhaps, or even longer, that passive investing was going to warp the markets and take away the true price discovery of markets. On the margins, I think there's an argument that the indexification of everything certainly has changed the way that markets can trade over time. But this idea that the market is now manipulated or fundamentally distorted because of the method through which people invest, I don't find as a super compelling argument in the aggregate. And I think that the same kind of thing is going to happen here, where on the margins, these meme names can change the indexes. They can change, your investment is affected by AMC. Yeah, well, 0.01% of your portfolio is a derivative claim on AMC, sure. But I don't think it really fundamentally changes the nature of markets. And that, I think is what is most interesting at this point in time.
Yeah, the stakes, unless you've put a lot of personal money into these things on a personal level, the stakes are pretty low on a larger market level. It's just fun to talk about. All right, we're going to take a break right now.
Right, that was good. That was interesting. I think they're correct. Even fundamentally, there are people who actually are looking at AMC and GME or even other stocks, these Wall Street related stocks, meme stocks, whatever you want to call them, that they believe in them even fundamentally. They think that these companies will be able to actually do well. But of course, many people do not think that, but still they are in the process. So I think it's important for everyone to realize that what is that they are actually looking for in this specific trade that they are
Wasn't
taking.
us.
So that is another point. Anything that you are actually trying to get, it should be important to know that why you are taking that trade. Otherwise, if it goes down slightly lower, you're gonna freak out. So let's see what Kevin actually saying about this?
On the center, like, oh no, that wasn't our video. Well, all right. But again, we've got multiple groups. This isn't like, it's not like the Taliban where there's like one central head, you know. So
I think he's talking about
but it's funny,
Anonymous.
you know. You get a lot of oftentimes you get a lot of rumors that spread online quickly, like, oh well this account said it wasn't them. It's like, okay, that's one of many parts of Anonymous that said it wasn't them. That was not on behalf of the entire organization. But that the extra nuance usually doesn't make it far in media. This is why I always like to cover as much as I can when it comes to the other side. It's always good to know both sides of what the heck is going on. So, okay, do we have our short interest yet? Let's see what we got here. Let me pull it up here really quick. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think the black app is actually defined to show here. Let's just pull AMC for right now. All right, so what do we have? Whoa, that's a plummet. Hold on a sec. Let's pull this up here. Look at this. Yeah, that's down to 14.91%. This is a little bit of covering here on AMC. You know, we've dropped from about 22 to 20, dropped to about 18.
That's exactly what I was saying. Some of the companies and banks, some of the hedge funds and banks actually were saying that they are going back on this.
Bought puts?
And basically they are trying to do some risk management. So in that sense, let's see what they are saying.
Joining us now to talk about the state of the markets and how retail has been playing this market is JJ Kinahan. He's the chief market strategist over at TD Ameritrade. So JJ, right before you came on, you heard us talking about what's happening with the meme names. You guys had your latest survey out of what your investors have moved in and out of the most. And a name that I did not see on that list was AMC. What have you seen on your side in some of these big names that really constitute kind of the core of the meme trade?
Sure. So, you know, if you think about it, AMC, GameStop, et cetera, for last month wasn't necessarily as big a story. It became a bigger story right at the end of the month. What was interesting to me is when I looked at those stocks is that the week before Memorial Day was a week ago today. It was last week on Tuesday that we really saw these explode. The week before, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, is when we actually saw our clients start to buy those names more. On Tuesday and Wednesday, our clients were more even in terms of their buying and selling of the stocks. So I thought that part was really, really interesting overall. Obviously, the interest increased pretty significantly. Actually, the one name that you didn't talk about, but I know is part of the picture, and just you guys, it was a great discussion, had a lot to cover there, was BlackBerry. BlackBerry was a name that, you know, in terms of percentage-wise, the volume picked up very significantly because GameStop and AMC continue to have sort of this interest all the time. And I thought it was interesting, you know, Julia was comparing some of this when we go down and people come in and buy it to Tesla. And, you know, and the stocks our clients purchased last month, Tesla was one of them because they did sell off. And I think there is a little bit of a difference. And it's one of the things you guys, you know, were talking about. And that I also believe in talking to our clients that there's a belief that AMC is also a reopening play as much as a meme stock play, because people think that there is a hunger for movies and good movies, and people like the theater experience. So AMC to me is probably the most interesting of these in how people are looking at it right now. Whereas GameStop, as you said, I think is more of the pure meme stock, and you know, we're trying to figure out what the fundamentals are, and I think their earnings coming out this Wednesday is going to be a really interesting story.
Man, can you imagine how many people would have to go to the movies this year to justify that AMC price? I mean, I don't know if there are enough theaters.
I don't disagree with you, Julia.
Yeah, but that's not the story behind it, at least for many people.
You also found in your survey that people were net sellers of equities on your platform last month. What do you think that was about?
Well, I think that a lot of it is because if you think where we're at in the market cycle overall right now, there's a bit of confusion as to what's next, if you will. And so I think a lot of people who have enjoyed some of the stocks that have run up are just taking profits. We talked last month how our clients had sold some of the vaccine stock, the Pfizers, the Modernas. Moderna had a really nice run up again, and our clients continue to sell a lot more of it. So it's really interesting to me that, Wells Fargo coming up near 52-week highs, our clients selling that. What I'm finding interesting is that as stocks are going up and hitting highs, our clients are perhaps selling them in a larger proportion than they did before, where they would maybe only sell a small part of their position. They're selling larger parts of their position now. And I think much of that has to do with this sort of what's next. The rate picture is certainly not clarified in most people's minds overall. The inflation picture hasn't clarified. So I think a lot of people are just sort of sitting there saying, they did buy fixed income perhaps heavier than they have in the past. But I feel like for a lot of people right now, fixed income is a place of storage, if you will, to see what happens with the equity market so that they can repurpose that money back into the equity market.
JJ, do you think, just this rise in the meme trade, really multiple names, AMC, BlackBerry, there's probably 10 other ones I can mention,
right,
it is making it riskier to invest in the stock market?
I don't think it does, Brian. As I said, I thought your discussion was really interesting before I came on about, what it means for indexing, et cetera, overall. Well, and the VIX actually tells me that the overall market right now, as we start this morning's action, we're seeing the VIX near 7-month lows. So that measure of volatility is actually telling me that people are viewing there's less risk in the market right now. What I do think, though, is that on a macro level, you may see it as less risk. On a micro level, I actually think that that's the biggest thing I hope investors are taking away. Higher volatility. Substitute the word risk for volatility. There's also higher risk if you're going into these stocks. The moves, on AMC, the implied move out 6 months is basically the stock's value, telling you it could double or go back to basically zero. So if you look at what the options market is telling you overall. So I think people, when they go into these stocks, have to be very ready for the risk they are taking. Mm-hmm. Everyone's comfortable with making money, but do you realize what you're risking on the downside in order to make that money? And unfortunately, there are some clients who don't look at that. I think one of the things that the industry's done very well is try and educate people as much as possible, but just like everything else, unfortunately, not everyone looks at them.
JJ, just quickly here, as we go into summer and as we do get more stuff reopening, more people vaccinated, how do you think this is going to affect stock volumes, which we tend to see drop in the summer anyway? Are we going to see that even more acute this summer? Add on to that also, stimulus checks and such running out.
Well, I think that we'll continue to see, not certainly near where we were in January and February, Julia, but I think we'll see what we've seen the last few weeks, which is still elevated to what we've seen last year and the year before. I don't know that there's going to be what we saw in January, and primarily because, the meme stocks are an interesting story again, but not to the torrid pace they were back in January. What really is driving a lot of the volumes right now are these interesting individual stories. So we'll see if we get some interesting individual story that we're not looking at right now. The good part about all of this is it's brought more people's interest in the market and longer term. That's the great benefit of everything that's happened with these meme stocks.
Certainly agree. More eyes on the market is a net positive for stocks overall. JJ Kinahan, Chief Market Strategist at TD Ameritrade. JJ, always appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next month. All right, coming up on the other side, we're going to have the opening bell on this Monday morning as we get the first full week of trading in June underway. Mixed picture, Nasdaq futures in the red.
Yeah, so that was that. Let's see what Kevin says.
Fight yesterday. Golly. I mean, forgive me for saying it, but that was freaking boring. I'm sorry. Like, I was pumped for I was so pumped and excited for that fight. I'm like, this is going to be so great. People are going to get bloody. They're gonna
He's
fight
talking
their
about
hearts out.
Floyd versus Jake Paul.
No.
Logan Paul.
No. That's all. Just no. Anyway. Matterport is just suffering. Look at, there's no volume here. That's crazy in the pre-market on Matterport. When you get 26 shares in that minute. Oh my God, it's nothing. Matterport needs to get some love. All right, what's in the middle? Like everything. Everything sitting in the middle today. Yeah. Lemonade, Twitter, Salesforce, Wayfair, Costco. It's not very much of a red day though, so I'll take that any day. We had plenty of buying opportunities the last 3 months, honestly. I think we've done our buy the dipping. You know what was priceless? Okay, I think y'all would like this. So, oh my gosh. I don't even know if I want to show this. Hold on. I think y'all like this though. All right, watch this. It has to do with buying the dip. So I posted this Arcimoto video. And where is it? Somebody posted a timestamp. Oh yeah. It's so mean, but it's so great. Every time Kevin buys the first dip. So we'll go to 7:30 here. Oh wait, I gotta turn the sound on. So 7:30. Oh my gosh, where is it? 7:30. Dip. There we go. All right.
Can I open this? Please, absolutely. Wow. Oh, this is deeper than I expected it to be.
It's so good. It's such a good reference. Oh man, that's a good one. Oh man, I'm losing it. Woo! Yeah. So shout out to that person. That's funny. Okay. Well, anyway, we've got about 2 minutes left to the opening bell.
That was good.
We are rotating a little bit back here to our $51 support line over here, which I personally and selfishly temporarily would not mind for this to rotate down a little bit in like the first minute, and then go to the moon. Okay, I mean, is that terrible to say? I hope not, because it's secretly what I'm hoping for just for the first minute. It's not really a secret though, because I'm saying it a lot. But we'll see what happens. Yep, no. And then as I say that, it rotates away. But that's usually how it works, though. When you know you want to buy, it's of course going to be a lot more expensive, and yeah, that's the way it works. And then of course, when you know you want to sell, it rotates down, generally. It stocks. All right, so I'm gonna have this ready to go here. I want to pull up. There we go. We got to close this out. And that actually closing that out should give us enough buying power to where hopefully I don't have to get any what's it called? I don't have to sell any Etsy shares. Because this is absorb. Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Is just saying Microsoft stock reporting controversial? I mean, Microsoft, in my opinion, just the number one stock that I would just keep. Absolutely number one. Just it's just it is so diverse, and yet all the time innovating, all the time being a really big competitor for any new innovation that comes out. So yeah. And the market is open.
It is Latch, a software as a service platform celebrating its listing via SPAC.
All right. There's the bell. We're going to close this. So to close this, we have to buy 13 at market. Well, hold on. Let's see how it's doing. Refresh. Oh, it doesn't even update the pricing. Come on. Update the pricing already, would you? Why is it not updating the pricing? All right, fine, whatever. We'll close it. There we go. Okay, up 10%. That's what I was thinking. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that in as a market. Whatever. Get out of here and get rid of this. Okay. Still not filled. Okay, come on. So we gotta fill that to close that, and then I want to buy. Come on, close. Hold on a sec. Why is it not filling? I need that money. I need that liquidity. I put it as a market order. No. Come on. It's the options just aren't updating right now. This sucks. Can I buy the shares right now as promised? Let's see. Let's see how many shares I can buy right now. All right. That's really annoying.
Look at Nasdaq.
That's pretty annoying.
Let's have a look at Nasdaq. I didn't take this trade, by the way. This is just me trying to talk about a possible trade for that. But what was the other one I was taking? I forgot. Was it Euro USD? Yeah. And another one was USD Cad. This is not looking good. I mean, the market opened and it just boom went up. Yeah, this is not good, but yeah, what can you do? I don't have a very big position there, but
well, Weeble screws us. Yeah, I will sell Etsy, but if I really wanted to, that was the plan. I don't understand. Weeble is sucking right now. Did it close? Here we go. Here we go. Okay, close. Okay, now I should be able to buy. Of course, just threw away another 2.
Someone is asking if I took this your USD and USD Swiss currency as with leverage. Yes, that is, I think 5 and 10 leverage, so nothing really big.
Okay, so we got our first 500 through. Now we're filling. Okay, good. So 500's through. So and now the darn thing's running again. We got to fill the rest.
Let's see what is going up now.
This is such horrible timing. Ah, man. Had I bought at when I woke up, it would have just been not enough buying power. Okay, I got to sell some Etsy. This is very frustrating. It's very frustrating. When we closed our option, that should have been plenty. So let's go ahead and go to the sticks here, and I'll buy this in just a moment. I got to calculate how much I still have to do, but I do want to look at the sticks here as well. So let's get rid of the pre-market here. Let's get rid of the spark line right now. It doesn't matter. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Man, I got screwed by Weeble. Look at that, man. Okay, so we have... We got to buy more. So I'm going to try to buy the next... I can't buy the next 500. Okay, it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and sell Etsy really quick. Etsy. I'll show you that too.
I'm actually interested in JD as well. It has been moving up, but now it is actually at the down point. No, this is a mistake. Let me. This is that and weak. Let's have a look at 30 minutes. Then this goes to 4 hour again. So 4 hour, 30 minutes. Yeah. Maybe too late now. I'm actually happy with my JD. It will go down though. Seems like it. 30 minute, 4 hour. I mean, it's above 200. That's why I don't sell. It might actually get. How to say it? Might actually get rebounded here.
The worst experience I've ever had.
Yeah, it happens, man. 10-year bond yield at 1.5. What are the earnings? Earnings today, we are looking at a charge point missed. Let's have a look at. Actually, ChargePoint doesn't have. It's not available in eToro, so I cannot take it. Unfortunately. nothing else really. I mean, there is C3 AI, Marvel, about tomorrow. Okay, Momo. Oh, it's already interesting. Yeah, nothing crazy here. Let's have a look at that.
Mixed picture. Apple, by the way, beginning its Worldwide Developers Conference that kicks off, and
sorry.
Look, Amazon all hire Google, which we're going to talk more about in just a moment, agreeing to pay an antitrust-related settlement in France. The shares not moving much on that, and the aforementioned Tesla down about 0.9% here this morning. Let's take a look at those meme stocks. AMC up another 12% today. Why not? GameStop is up 4%.
Wow, they put PLTR as a meme stock.
Tier as well. And where's BlackBerry? Here it is on the upper right quadrant of the screen. It is up about 3.4% this morning, which we've also been talking a lot about. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to dig more into that Google story and that antitrust settlement that they...
Yeah. Right, so BNGO is going to the moon. Let's see. Wow. I got my BNGO at a positive, finally. Wow. Let's have a look. What are the possible points? Okay, this is a rejection point, possibly. This one, and then you have maybe somewhere around here. I actually am looking forward to I don't know, I'm not gonna just go and sell it now. I'm gonna wait. Gonna wait.
I want to close out, and I was thinking, oh, I could use that liquidity to pick up on the rest of the AMC shares that I need. But I could also just sell a little bit more of Etsy, which I might do right now. Actually, I will just do that right now. Etsy. Oh, Etsy. We love our Etsy, but that's okay. Let's sell just a little bit. I don't know. I'll sell another. I only need, what do I need? 100? 100? No, that's way too much. I only need to sell like 33. There we go. All right, I'll buy Etsy back after I send some money over. Okay, so I just sold a tiny little bit of Etsy, $5,000, 33 shares worth.
Reminded me I wanted to buy Etsy.
I'll show you the AMC buy here, just to fulfill my promise. I got very horribly screwed on the timing, but
let's go to 4 hour.
I'm not gonna say it again. I feel like I'm complaining too much. I'm sorry. Many of you saw it happen.
So yeah,
oh, come on! I literally just sold $5,000 worth of Etsy. How is there not buying power? I don't understand. Max shares I could buy are 4.
Yeah,
you gotta be kidding me.
Went down.
Dude, I don't understand. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. That's really embarrassing, Weeble. So I sell $5,000 of Etsy, and now you don't give me that buying power right away. You really screw me. Yeah. Nope. No buying power. Nothing. I'm disappointed. Can only get so much from a commission-free platform. Oh, what a burn. It's very annoying. Very annoying. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Whatever.
I mean, we caught it, but again,
Close out the app.
I really didn't feel like selling it at the time. Like I wanted to keep it around 980. Yeah. So what can you do? Let's have a look. What else do we have? Yeah, this one should just this. I'm looking to buy it. $17, $18 sounds like a good place. End phase. End phase gonna be again around 120. I'm gonna buy. Honestly, end phase got crazy that date. Run. Tesla. Yeah, I'm expecting these to go down. Let's see what is moving up. Workhorse still at that 7. GME4. Not a big move actually today.
Okay, there we go. It was so weird. It stuck for a second, and it was still showing 20%. Or was I stuck on GME accidentally? Oh, that's probably what I was. I thought I was in AMC, and it went back to 20%. No. Anyway, AMC sitting at 14.91% in terms of short interest. So we do see a little bit of a rotation here to the downside. Whereas with Workhorse, we're still showing 49%. That's, I mean, to me, I mean, I don't know when or if, but it just seems like it, or feels like it's setting up for like a mega squeeze on Workhorse. Although I've more invested in AMC, Workhorse is just another one I'm paying attention to. How's Sundial been? And some of the let's look for some other opportunities too. We want to go ahead and look at some fundamentals and some cryptos. We've got Dogecoin. Yeah, no, kind of still pretty soft over here. Let's go to the 5-minute. Let me just see how it's behaving here. Yeah, interesting. Kind of rotating down after the opening here. Got Tesla down about 1.5%. So Tesla's actually declining in through the day here. We've got API. API is another one that's been getting destroyed. Certainly didn't help that Twitter came out with basically their own version of Clubhouse, and Discord came out with their own version of that. Both of them kind of burying Clubhouse there, especially since Clubhouse is only available on how could you do it only available on Apple? That always blows my mind. Should we just release it on both platforms, will you? And let anybody sign up for it. Otherwise, your competition just eats you alive, as we have seen happen. It's a big mistake. I personally wonder if Clubhouse is going to go down as one of those examples of like this app that was so freaking hot and it just literally disappeared and went bankrupt. Like no harm on Clubhouse. I like the app, but it feels like it hit peak when Elon Musk went on it. And after that, Twitter, Discord come out with their own platforms that anyone can use. No invite only crap. I don't know. Clubhouse, social media apps are based on people joining. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you know what's funny is on the Plaid Plus here, Elon Musk saying the Plaid Plus is canceled. I actually pre-ordered the Plaid Plus within 2 minutes of it getting announced on Battery Day in September. And I didn't order the regular Plaid because the regular Plaid wasn't out until like 2 months later. And then, of course, the version that I had pre-ordered within 2 minutes of it getting announced gets canned. It's almost like what happened with us in Weeble this morning. It's like, you know what? It just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't meant to be. That's it. It's hilarious. Okay, let me see if Weeble works now.
No, I actually wanted to sell. Someone is asking why I didn't then sell BNGO. Look, for me, BNGO has been. I mean, this honestly is not a good range to sell this. Like, I mean, it got crazy high at this point. I don't think it's gonna get there that soon. So I mean, if it was going to around this 950, 980, I would have cashed it out and then it would have come back again. And I think then it would have been a good time to buy it again. I don't think this correction is over. I mean, this rotation or whatever. But let's see.
Dips over here. And it has been trending up, so I could be wrong. But Moderna's really been kicking butt here. I mean, it's a 215. So betting, you don't want to bet against something like a Moderna. I mean, look at this is a beautiful, beautiful sort of roller coaster here that's just been trending up very, very well. But yeah, I'm really looking for a nice dip on the vaccine stocks once we kind of get COVID behind us and COVID traders rotate out of it. BNGO, pretty incredible here, going straight to our line. How's it behaving? Yeah, that's so weird. Or maybe it's not. It's TA. I just love seeing it. All right, what else? Look at Sundial. Sundial pumping here, almost at 1.2. Upstart, again, 8.5%. Oh, my goodness. Workhorse, 7.2%. Workhorse is, look at it. It's struggling a little bit at the 14 line here, which does surprise me with a 49% short interest. It's pretty incredible. Beyond Meat, Mind Medicine. Yeah, Mind Medicine consolidating a little bit. Churchill doing the same thing. Arcimoto rotating down a little. Shift was down in the pre-market, wasn't it? Oh, no, that was SoFi. Never mind.
So I have this money management styles in my trade that sometimes I just go for 1 to 1.5 ratio. Sometimes I just, when it gets to 1-on-1, I take half out and then put the stop loss to 0. So that way you actually lose less, and that is very important. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. If I have a lot of money, I always stick to that. But yeah, it depends really. So let's see, what are these?
Calling for more stimulus checks. Republicans argue, no way. That's no way to build our economy. We're going to take you to Capitol Hill after this.
Oh, going to break. I want to hear about the stimulus checks. All right. VNGO is pushing. It's really trying to push through this line. You know, it's moving up pretty nicely to this. And Microvision sitting at 9%. I mean, that's great. There we go. I think I have my buying power.
Okay, so we have OCGN, Jeffries. Let's have a look at OCGN. So maybe tonight we can... no. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Sorry. I was looking if it was in a more, then I would have got into this trade, but not in this format. This is just not what I'm looking for. BNGO, I'm not gonna sell BNGO below this point. Maybe I'm stupid now, but if it just pushes a bit more, I think it stopped when it didn't go up there. It gets harder, but of course there's still room. So let's see.
The exception of this pop we just got, which is great. All right, let's see what else we have going on here. So we looked at that. Let's go look at some of the headlines here. So we talked about Yellen and inflation yesterday. Okay, sedition hunters, FDA vaping regs. Fed is risking a full-blown recession. Ooh, juicy. Execution of its new, they're going to talk about FATE, flexible average inflation targeting. But unfortunately, the way the Fed is putting this long-term monetary policy framework into practice is likely to result in more volatile interest rates and more risk of recession. Okay. Under the old regime, we know about old school. Targeted inflation helps solve the problem is the argument. We know about that. What's their complaint? The result will be more volatility in short-term rates. That's it? That's all they're going to complain about, is that things are going to be volatile? We like volatility. Let's be real. It's buying opportunity. Oh, man. Yeah, all right. So, AMC ripping, just ripping right now, up 16, 17% here. Very bullish. Let's go flip to the downside here. I don't even remember why I have this one. Oh, this one's just under recently viewed. I don't know much about that. C3AI getting burned. Ooh, down 7% here. I mean, here's your big loser of the day. We've got Bumble 3.81% to the downside. API 3.58 to the downside. Tesla now down 2%. This morning was actually pretty benign. This morning things were relatively flat.
So for me, at least at this stage, what I'm trying to figure out is that is there a reason for me to at least reduce my exposure to BNGO or keep it as it is? Yeah. So usually because of these appointments, you usually don't have such high movement upwards. But again, what are we doing today? We're barely make. Run, Tesla, Twitter, Wafer, Enphase, Canadian Solar, Mora, STNE, JD. Really good stocks are actually going down. AMC is going up. 23%. Wow. Let's go and have a look. This is nice. Makes me happy. Yeah, it really makes me happy. what happened here? Crazy. They're a really good company. I mean, I when it was at this range and it was bouncing here, it was my time to buy it. I didn't, so I have to now suffer. And I thought that this will go back to these ranges, 120s, or I waited, but again, there's always other opportunities to get into a trade, so no problem there. As in a surgical, this one is on a fire recently, like from 13th of May till now it has doubled. I actually sold mine with a slight profit when it was here, so I got out of it because I just wanted to reduce my exposure and buy other stuff, of course. Okay, shift is going up. Many of our stocks are actually going up today. So XPEV was minus today and now it got positive. IDX, I'm still hoping this goes back below 2. But yeah. I feel like this one upward. This should go back down a bit more. Too soon for that. Let's see what people are saying about BNGO here. Okay, got angry. Yeah, they appointed some CCO today, some person who has a lot of experience in selling in genomics, basically stuff. He has a lot of experience. Well, honestly, I think 15 is a very good price, but 20 for me, if it hits anywhere around, I mean, I'm gonna $10,980, I'm gonna take something out, and then I'm gonna the rest around here. I'm not gonna wait for a new higher high. That's just not the way I do these trades. I still wait, see if something happens there, then actually my business did not do very well. I think Mariano is actually doing, I mean, those of you who know the eToro copy trader, popular investors basically. So Mariano is actually one of the top ones. Then Harry is one of the other really experienced guys. Fantastic performance over the past years. He's not a crazy hype investor who really deals. Oh, what happened? He really goes and deals with only with companies that have good growth and good record of moving, but he's really just holding for long term and not doing a lot of trade. Mariano is more tech side, only tech, not only mainly tech, but he has a very good experience with tech stocks, and because of that he has done fantastic in the recent years, and of course he's very highly weighted on the top tech companies like Amazon, Microsoft. Antonio is a new one. He was one of these high risk, high reward ones in my list, and unfortunately I got caught with him, but I still think that he will make it. He will make good returns this year. I'm not sure how much, but I'm gonna still stick to him during these times. Anyway, I'm not gonna lose this amount of money. In any case, the guy is not that bad. Let's see what else. What is going on?
You are like, let's just see what some news is. That's all we want.
Highly unlikely. I think we made news right there. All right. The gentleman on the right-hand side of the screen is the House Minority Whip, and that is Steve Scalise. Steve, good morning to you. Welcome back to the show. Great to see you.
This is just reacting to the Trump. Oh, okay. All right. So no real news here on either side. What else do we have going on?
I want to buy Tesla at 550. I think we're gonna get it at 550. I think this is just the technicals talking about. Of course, there are many bad news generally about Tesla recently, and I'm not sure if that's really gonna happen. But let me check my offers. I mean my orders. Sorry, my orders. So I have Tesla 60. Yeah. JD. JD goes below 70. I'm gonna buy again. Still, this is in a downtrend. But I think somewhere around here is when it gets, I expect this to move up. Anyway, that is it from my side. I think I'm gonna end this stream right now. Thanks everyone for joining. I probably will be back if there is a move, especially in AMC. I'm gonna be back again. For now, it is just hitting around that 20% range. So let's see how it happens. Good luck to all of you, and thanks everyone for joining. And hopefully talk to you soon. Cheers.